Hi YouTube, it's me. It's been around about nearly a year and 3 months since I last did a video, and I've just been watching them and I thought, well, I'll do a general update. Obviously, if you've been on my YouTube channel, you know I have a daughter now. My last video when I was talking about being on the third cycle of Clomid, it was the month we conceived. They told me that I hadn't ovulated, and so we were pretty much like, well, it didn't work, we're going to take a break, nothing's going to happen. Obviously the ovulation didn't work, so we might as well just wait 6 months and I could carry on with my therapy at the time. And then my cycle was really long, and I just assumed it was because I ovulated later, or I didn't ovulate at all, and that's why my body was just messing up. So I thought, oh well, I'll wait a week. And then I think it was like the 16th of December, and I was thinking, oh, I really need to be on the next cycle of Clomid if I'm going to take it, because I just found out that I had a job, and so I was just about to start in January, and I didn't really want to be going to the hospital for my scans, for my blood tests, to interfere with work. Yet again, I have another cold. Every time I do a video, I have a cold. That's why my nose is very sore. And yeah, so I didn't want to really go any more cycles because the Clomid was upsetting me, giving me depression and stuff. So I decided we were going to stop after this cycle. So I got to the 16th of December and I was like, well, this is ridiculous. Where's my period? And I was going to take Proven to bring on my period, because I was told if I was late by, I think I was late by a week, then I should just, take Proven and then just start again. But then one of the things you have to do with Proven is take a pregnancy test. So I thought, well, I better go and take a pregnancy test to make sure, I'm not pregnant, because if I am, then, I'd be self-aborting, basically. And so I took a pregnancy test, and it came out positive, which really freaked me out because I wasn't expecting it, because I was like over 7 days late, and I wasn't expecting it. And I ran up to my husband and told my husband, and I told my best friend, and then I told my mum we had to drive all the way down to Sainsbury's so I could get more tests. I peed on like 6 tests, and they were all positive. And then I had a scan 2 days before Christmas, and then they said, we can see the sac and stuff, and they didn't tell me that Clomid gives you a higher chance of ectopic, which is nice, thanks for that. So the sac was all in the right place. We went on the day after Boxing Day, and it was growing. And then we had, I can show you my scans actually, and then we had a lot more scans, because having polycystic ovaries, of course. Just get my book. And yeah, so we had more scans, and I'll show you my scans. Yeah, so it was a complete shock to find out I was pregnant. And then this is the first scan we had. This is at 5 weeks, 5 days. The little where it says control is where the baby is. And that was back on the 27th of December. I had HCG test, and it was doubling, so that was good. And then the next scan I had was, I paid for a private scan because I worried, and you can't really see, it's not a very good picture. I paid for this as well. And that was at 8 weeks. Just looks like a blob. And then I had one at 10 weeks. My friend, who's a veterinary nurse, did it with her scanning machine at work, which is an interesting story to tell her when she's bigger. And then we had the 12-week scan, which is what we all have in the UK, and the baby was growing fine, so that was very exciting. So this was around about February, and then I ended the first trimester. I was getting quite big anyway. Pregnancy was not a joy. I was very, very ill with sinusitis for most of my pregnancy. And then we had our 20-week scan in April. It's a bit bigger. My husband knew it was a girl. He kept saying, oh, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. And I was like, how can you say it's a girl? We're not going to find out. And he was like, oh, it's a girl, it's a girl. And some belly shots for you guys. It's me at 18 weeks. It's me at 19 weeks. Yeah, so it was... I had very bad sinusitis. It's a lovely picture of me at 24 weeks. I've totally forgotten how it feels now. All my BP was fine for the whole thing. Everything was fine, apart from having sinusitis. I was off for quite a while. And I had very bad dizzy spells as well, so I had to miss work for quite a few days. I don't think I have any more skin pictures. No, and then it got to... by the end, I put on 2 stone by the end, and we got to the 19th of August when I was my due date. It was the 18th of August, one of those days was my due date, and she didn't come. And so I was like, ugh. And then they wanted to induce me because I was a clomid patient, and I didn't want to be induced because I wanted to do it naturally and have a water birth, you know, all that normal stuff. But that didn't happen, so I was induced a day or 2 before she was born. I was contracting on my own already because they'd started, and I was 40 plus 3 days when I started contracting. Labour was really long. Did not enjoy that. I was in loads of pain. I had epidural, but it failed 3 times. I had to be monitored throughout due to Lilith pooing, so that wasn't good. So I couldn't move. And then I didn't realise if you have an epidural, you can't actually get up. You think I would have realised this, but I didn't. And so I had to have a catheter, which was very weird. So I couldn't get off the bed, so it wasn't at all natural. So I was laying on the bed being monitored. They gave me, with my injection, they gave me a drug, and it got me contracting, except for it overstimulated me, and I had contractions all the time. And eventually, after 17 hours of labour, active labour, they got me to push. I was pushing for 2 hours. Nothing was happening. She was back to back. And the next thing I know, I've been rushed to theatre. And I never felt as much pain when I had to go from the labour ward to the theatre ward, and they made me put my palm down, and her head was down there, and I've never had so much pain in my life. Lucky she's cute. and then they thought they tried to do the 1-2s, the suctiony thing, but that didn't work. So I was cut, and they did forceps. And they were pulling for ages, and you try to push when you have an epidural, you can't feel anything anyway, so it was very surreal, and I was very upset by now. So I was already crying, and my husband was crying, because we'd both been awake for like 3 days I think it was. And then yeah, they were trying to get her out, and they were pushing on my stomach because her shoulders got stuck. She had shoulder dysplasia, and yeah, that was not fun. And then eventually she came out, but I can't remember her coming out because I was so tired. My eyes were rolling back in my head. I was so drugged up, which is a bit of a shame because I can't remember her coming out. I know that she had to use the breathing machine for a bit because she didn't come out crying. And then they tried to hand them to me, but I was shaking from the epidural and the top-ups that I'd had, that they gave her to my husband. And the thing I said to my husband was, "Oh, is it Lilith?" And he said, "Yes, it's Lilith," because we thought it was a girl the whole way through. And it turned out to be a girl. A little girl called Lilith. Enid Noella. And she was 8-9, born on the 24th of August, and she's at 7:36. And then after she was born, I was put back into the ward or the private room, after they spent ages stitching me up because I kept bleeding. And then we were on the ward, and I went home at 11 o'clock because it was just not a good service at the hospital. So we got to go home, which is lovely. My husband was off for 5 weeks. We tried to breastfeed, but it didn't work, so she was on formula, which was fine. She had colic, which again is not fun. I went to an osteopath, and that solved it with time feedings and dummies. She is now 6 months old. 6 months and 2 weeks, I think. So nearly 28 weeks old. Yeah, she's happy. little ginger thing. Surprisingly, I didn't know she would be ginger. Yeah, I ended up with postnatal depression, so I'm still on antidepressants for that. But I feel a lot more better than I did at the beginning. And yeah, we just settled into family life. She can sit up now. She's given up on rolling. Rolling was boring to her, so that was a bit like you did it a couple of times and you were like, I can't be arsed anymore. She's chatty, she doesn't coo, she shouts, everything has to be shouted, and we're just going through the teething stage at the moment. So she's been up several couple of times a night, but last night she only woke up twice, so I'm like, oh thank God, I feel more alive. Minus having a cold. I was trying to find a picture of her for you. These aren't recent pictures, but these are pictures that we got done. And all in all, she's a very happy baby. She is so cute. Of course, I'm going to say that I'm her mother. It feels weird being a mother now after spending so long caring for a baby. She is a lovely baby. This is when she was 12 weeks old. She's a lot bigger and boisterous now. Yeah, we started, it feels weird being a mother now, after so long of trying. So we're just kind of settling into family life, but I wanted to give an update. I'm sure you've seen the videos, just random ones of her laughing, and the fact that she rolled, which is very exciting. She's got a little attitude on her, which I'm guessing she got that from her dad. We're still in the same house. We're currently getting ready to move. Next year, so that's exciting, get to a bigger place. Other than that, there's not much else going on. I'm currently a stay-at-home mum, which is fun, and I'm still trying to do my driving test, which is ridiculous. But I hope everyone out there in YouTube land has a nice day, and I hope there's a lot more pregnancies. I did check through my list, because I haven't been on YouTube for such a long time, and it was great to see a load of ladies that I was following now have children, which is fantastic. And hopefully there'll be a lot more soon. Okay, well I hope to update hopefully once a month with Lilith progress, or once a week. I haven't really decided yet, but now I've got my shiny new iPad, it's quite easy to upload. Okay then, speak to you all later, bye!